and support systems in general for not only extended families but the community. And they have a hard time receiving, learning to be on the, the getting end of it, and because they're givers.
And that's why they depend on somebody like you.
Yeah.
Sandy, thank you. Our time is up, and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, Diane.
That's it for Alive and Well tonight, and I'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll continue our look at women and HIV.
Okay, thank you, Diane.
Thanks, Diane.
When one member of a family is diagnosed with a deadly disease, it can put tremendous pressure on the whole family.
AIDS is no different. Tonight on News Center, we have the story of a family, a mother, a father, and 2 children, whose lives changed dramatically when the mother learned she was infected with the virus which causes AIDS. Here's News Center's Diane Atwood on special assignment, Women of Courage, Living with HIV.
Pizza?
Yeah! Little Caesars.
Yeah, maybe we could try Uno.
We used to have a really happy family, and it used to be, just a lot nicer. And now we worry about, all the time she goes in the hospital, and, is she going to be okay? And it's just really scary to think, that someday she isn't going to be here, and it's sooner than it should be.
No 12-year-old should have to worry about his mother dying. Neither should his 7-year-old brother, who thinks Mom snuggles better than anyone.
Show me how good she snuggles.
What I want is to stay healthy for as long as I can. Justin and I have a pact right now. We're doing it in steps. That I'm going to be here long enough to see him get accepted to college. And with Alex, I'm just with him as much as I can.
When Kim Smith isn't with her kids or in the hospital, she's out teaching people. Today it's a group of professional women about HIV and AIDS. Ironically, teaching about HIV is what she did before she tested positive.
I knew in my heart what was going on. I was treating these patients myself, and I'm counseling people on the phone for the symptoms, and I'm sitting there feeling the same things. As best as, I can tell, I was infected almost 3 years ago, and it was through a blood transfusion. I was very, very ill with a coagulation disease, and I almost died, and I had at the least 50 units of blood. So
Kim was diagnosed with HIV last spring. She's been pretty open about it, and some people's reactions have surprised her. In South Portland, for example, where she lives, she'd spoken at the high school before about HIV and AIDS, but the rules seemed to change when she told school officials she had HIV. To attend her next talk, students had to get signed permission from their parents.
I can't tell you how I felt standing up in the front of a classroom with these kids running in and going, I don't have my slip, and they were booted out of the room. I shrunk an inch for every kid who was kicked out of the class.
Kim believes all children must be given some facts and is frustrated that her own children's schools won't let her do more. And even here, a parent seems confused about what to tell her child.
My daughter doesn't even know yet what sex is. Forget about AIDS and all of that. And she's in middle school, elementary school. But what grade are you saying? Your youngest is 7? And
yeah,
and you've already started the training.
And that I would never presume to tell you how to tell your children. As a mom, you know what your child can understand.
But the hardest blow is how Kim's family has reacted.
My family doesn't want to deal with it, and I have a large family, and they are right around here. But they...
1, 2, 3. All 3 are birthday.
Well, they're worn ships.
Kim has worked hard to teach her own kids to respect all people. Justin sums up her lessons quite neatly.
Just to be very fair and equal and honest.
It's how they try to treat each other, and it's all they ask from anybody else. Diane Atwood, News Center.
Kim is not the only woman with HIV who must juggle caring for herself and her family. As more women are diagnosed, it will undoubtedly become a bigger problem.
Tomorrow at 6, the story of a woman who discovered